All right, welcome to the new and improved news section of the Crypto Conversion Podcast. Well, those of you listening on the audio, this is the intro to the episode with Sam. But for those of you watching on the YouTube, this is just your weekly crypto news that we found interesting this week. Fortunately, the news cycle did not disappoint, and we were able to get some good insights from some of our connections regarding the launch of PayPal's US dollar stablecoin. This, I think, has been in the works for a while. I have been on the record saying that I thought Venmo and PayPal had something already, but they just hadn't brought it out to market. And I think that this is their Web3 equivalent. So I've seen all kinds of takes from this is great mainstream adoption to look at these capitalist pigs taking advantage of the Ethereum pool. Wide variety of takes here. I'm just curious where you guys kind of sit with this. This does kind of lean towards CBDC tendencies. To say at the minimum, I guess we'll just kind of kick it off from there. What your thoughts are on it?
Matt, what do you hit first?
The PayPal thing. First of all, I think the acronym or the ticker is a little weird because it's like PYUSD, and in my circles, if anything has a PY in it, it's Python. It's coded in Python, so it's like, no, this is not the Python US dollar. This is the. Well,
they had to be PY because otherwise they would be PP, and you don't want to be PPUSD. Yeah,
P something. Anyway, so yeah, PUSD. I don't know. Anyway,
no,
so
you don't want to be PPUSD.
No, you don't. It's interesting, right? Because it's and we were sort of talking about this in the episode, right? There's this concern about CBDCs. But then to get political here, right? A CBDC is authoritarian. A PayPal USD, every corporation launching their own currency feels kind of libertarian, right? It's let the businesses do what they want, right? It's free market. Everyone has their own currency. And so it's like there's the same amount of control in both places, right? If every, buddy had launched their own currency, we could say, oh, we're going to use the ones that are, controlled by people whose values I share or the ones I don't. But I don't know. It's hard to like wrap my head around this, right? Like it seems it seems like a free market thing, right? The same way that, we have these payment processors like Visa and MasterCard and PayPal and Venmo and, Zelle and everyone else, and they become really big. And then is it like, oh, we just don't like when they're big? It's like, I don't know. It's interesting, right? That we treat these businesses as authoritative, right? It can't be a CBDC because they're not a central bank, right? It has controls in it. So does USDT, so does USDC, so does BUSD. I think one of the unique things with the PayPal USD is that they have. Where the other ones are able to freeze your funds, it seems like the PayPal USD is able to erase them. So it's kept on chain. I have $100 million or 100 million USDT that I stole from someone, and they froze my account because they don't want me laundering that money. Where the PayPal one, they would delete it. It would look like I have nothing. So anyway, I thought that's kind of interesting, but I don't know.
It would be fine. I think it would be fine if it was like free market, like you say. Yeah, okay. PayPal launches their coin, and USDC can launch their coin, and USDT, and anybody can launch their coin. But I mean, it's just that's not the case, right? Because the Web3 community just hasn't really proven itself, at least with these platforms, that they're really resilient against censorship at all. I mean, this is a perfect case. Who are they launching their stablecoin with? It's Paxos. Well, Paxos
Trust Company. Yep.
The same people who are issuing BUSD, and because of the regulation, that project got shut down, right?
Yeah, that's true.
And
that's right.
Now Paxos is going to do PayPal. So the regulation basically pushed out these foreign companies, shoehorned in a U.S. company, and what happened to the free market there? It's not like PYUSD had a fair shot, right?
These
So
are all these are all joint ventures. These are all joint ventures, and it's all about who you can get to be your perfect front, essentially. So Paxos, obviously, they weren't driving the right car when they launched their first stablecoin. They do it with PayPal. They look golden because it's PayPal.
yeah,
Traded on the stock market, one of the best stocks. Almost everybody's 401k or mutual fund portfolio has some PayPal in it. What could go wrong? You know, that's ultimately what's going on right here, I think.
the other thing too, I shared this on Twitter, but there was one of the developers for the PayPal stablecoin put out this whole tweet thread explaining how people were getting it completely wrong and how this is actually good for crypto. And of course, people were going back and forth about that. But I mean, really, no matter what, no matter how you look at it, like I just oppose PayPal at face value. Like the company is terrible. They ban, like they're one of the biggest, was behind probably Stripe and Visa or Chase Bank in general. They're one of the big censoring payment processors that kick people off constantly. I mean, people, and when you really look at it, like a lot of these people, they can't do business then if they get pushed off of all these platforms, and it does happen. And it's like they're just destroying people's livelihoods like that, you know. And so, like, I'm supposed to celebrate that now they're coming onto Web3 and bringing adoption. Like, I can't. So, yeah.
All right, let's move over to layer 2 base. I'm curious what you guys think about this. Basically, another joint venture between Coinbase and Ethereum, but it seems like Coinbase is trying to build a lot of things on Ethereum these days. Yeah, so secured by Ethereum, empowered by Coinbase, low cost, open source. So great for building stuff at a pretty feasible rate, right? Like if you're just trying to build stuff just to try it out, this would be a good place to maybe dabble for not too much cost.
Just for everyone listening, if you do want to build stuff and dabble, test
Excuse me.
nets exist. You know, any of these chains have test nets as well,
Sure.
right? So, like, even if you don't want to pay the Polygon fees, there is a Polygon test net. You know, you get your things. You try building something there. Anyway, but yeah, so it's. I mean, it's good. They're open source. It's I mean, it's always fun to see another layer 2 set. The year of the L2 is what we're seeing here between. Arbitrum, Optimism, and
Oh, yeah. PayPal
Base.
launched on Optimism.
Did they?
There's
Okay,
one-
yeah.
So another layer 2 there. They were going to launch on Solana, but after the FTX
really?
blow up, they basically moved
Bad
to
idea.
Optimism.
Yeah.
So that killed
Yeah.
Solana.
I'll tell you that was a good decision on their end, to be candid. Optimism Group has a lot of good things going for them.
Yeah.
Look at that. We can still compliment and be skeptical at the same time.
Well, so this is it, right? Again, it's secured by Ethereum. I think every L2 at least has a, and I'm saying backdoor in a good way for the people using it. If I, for whatever reason, get canceled on Arbitrum and all nobody's processing my transactions, I believe I'm still able to pull out certain funds, maybe just ETH, back onto the base layer. The main layer, not the base layer, the L1, because base is now layer 2. But anyway, but they, I don't know. I don't know if Coinbase is getting a lot of heat because they are a big public company, and they, I think when we mentioned this before when they were launching they have goals of decentralization, progressive decentralization. So they're not the only ones running the whole thing. But they get the heat, but I think Arbitrum and Optimism have foundations that control most of the governance token supply. Like we saw with Arbitrum, right? When they dropped their token, and then they what was it? They put the proposal up for a vote to send so many tokens to the foundation, and then they did it before the vote finished. right? Like they had complete control over all the funds already. And so anyway, I don't know. I mean, everyone is. I think a lot of people are skeptical. Layer twos add some centralization. There's still some security that you get from the L1, and I think you're still able to pull out some funds, but on the L1. But yeah. Anyway, I don't know where I was going with that.
Did you guys see the Aptos partnership with Microsoft regarding AI and blockchain?
It's not really a partnership.
Yeah,
Microsoft
that's
isn't
what I figured
investing.
too.
Yeah, Microsoft isn't really investing anything. They're basically putting something on the Microsoft platform and branding it as a partnership, but
Well,
Microsoft
that's
isn't
what I
bringing anything to the
figured.
table.
Aptos is kind of the well, so remember, Aptos was supposed to be the Facebook blockchain.
That's right.
And so I just feel like Aptos is eager to just figure out who from the mainstream they can just put their name next to hopefully get some profits. I still can't believe that Pancake Swap uses Aptos as an L1. That still cracks me up. I don't know what strings they had to pull to do that, but credit where credit's due, I suppose.
Well, it's
Anywhere
not the main
liquidity
L1
can
because
be found.
PancakeSwap's been around long before
Yeah,
Optimus.
PancakeSwap's originally on BSC, but I mean
Yeah,
they
but
are
you
also
can
they've been
you can
expanding. They've gone
yeah.
to Ethereum. They've gone to Polygon, I believe.
Aptos is one of those base layers for them. So
Hmm.
if you look at where you can kind of like build your trades in, it's obviously like Pancake Swap, Native
Yeah.
Token, BNB, and then Aptos. I was like, Aptos,
Well,
Pancake
talking about
Swap.
partnerships like Coinbase too, is they have a
Yeah.
partnership with Coca-Cola apparently for their
Oh
chain.
yeah,
What's
they
that
do.
partnership gonna do?
See, now that's a stable coin I would use. I would use the Coca-Cola USD or the McDonald's
Coca-Cola
USD.
coin.
Like that would be, Taco Bell USD. Send it my way. I'm using that one.
Bring back Mirror Protocol, please,
You know.
Luna.
Oh
Let's
no.
get can
Please
actually
don't.
mirror the stocks, right?
No,
Be a
no.
fun time. But
Yeah.
it's interesting week from a news standpoint. This is probably the first summer we've had in a while where things have kind of just stayed flat. There hasn't been as much market fluctuation as there has been the past couple of summers since I've gotten involved in the
Yeah.
space. I don't know if you remember the past 2 summers, guys. Since we've been involved, we're pretty volatile. So it's kind of nice to see. Just I'm not saying it's been valleys, but it hasn't been crashes like it has been. So that's been refreshing to see some stabilization. I wonder if that's due to some mainstream adoption, but it could also just be we're kind of just in some interesting times right now where it just kind of is what it is, and we just are. I don't know. I've been a beneficiary of this summer personally, so I'm not going to complain. But I will say the past 2 summers I have taken it on the chin. So
Yeah.
let's call it what it is. I'm kind of
gotcha.
happy to have a normal summer where it's been a good summer to invest a little bit and not feel like I'm wondering where rent's going to come from next month. So that's where I sit with it at least. And so I don't know where you guys stand with that, but we can talk about that in another episode when we review kind of the state of the summer essentially.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. I think I've heard from people who have been, around longer that like this is just that point in the cycle, in the market cycle, right? Bitcoin's got a 4-year cycle.
Sure.
That there is just always this lull where, people are cheering, a swing up or down of like $100 in price, and it's like there's so anyway, but yeah, calm before the storm, maybe. Looking forward to next
It's all
year.
going to zero.
When should we start the countdown to the halving? Just kidding. I don't even know.
Yeah, we should
all
have
right.
a live
May?
block counter right here, like it's going down every 10 minutes.
200 days until Bitcoin halving.
Yeah.
Are you allocating profits accordingly for the next halving? No, don't. Again, no investment advice on this podcast. For the record, we are here to talk about the parallels of crypto and Christianity. So we hope you enjoy this week's episode with Sam Arms. It was a great time talking about CBDCs and regulation, especially from the Florida standpoint. Little did I know, I've been kind of following his work without knowing that it was him that was behind it. So it's kind of cool, kind of serendipitous on my end to be able to get his insights on where it is. And we hope you all enjoy that episode. And when you see this pan on the podcast, we'll be with Sam. And if you're watching the video, we hope you have a great week and hopefully you watch the episode.